Now if you get a screw that's going in a little stubborn, you don't want to force it because you could twist it right off. You can't, if you feel like, okay, it's pretty tight, just back it off a little bit and then go forward again. And then back and forward. Okay? What you're doing is you're creating a little bit of a slop, or you're breaking off a little bit of the thread tip edges of the outside threads. Okay? I probably went in too far. I shouldn't have done that. Now I'm having a hard time getting it out. So I'm just going to go a little bit and then go forward. Now do a little bit more backwards and go forward again. Okay? I don't want to just cream it out of there. And that's why I would suggest doing this by hand rather than your battery operated drill. You get that going in there just right. You could strip the head off, break this in half, and then you're going to have to say, okay, how am I getting the threads out because they're broken off in there and all that. Okay, it's going tight again, so I'm going to put it back in a little bit, back it out, back and forth. Jeez, I wasn't going to show this, but I thought I might as well. Boy, it shouldn't be that difficult. There, finally. And I'm going to remember to use this one on the bottom. See how it kind of eats up a little bit of your thread? That's because you're going into metal, and they didn't give us a machine thread there. Sometimes you'll see these, and there might be wood threads down a little bit, and towards the end they might be machine thread. So I've seen those too, okay? But this will still work. You just have to be careful and mindful of what you're doing. And I'm going tight and it feels good. I got right over that first part. Okay, now I'm going to back that out. I'm going to make sure I use that particular screw for the top, right? Oh, man, just this is tiring my forearm out. Okay, let's get this back in there. Okay, make sure that's on the bottom. And you'll see a little arrow, and it should say up somewhere on there. Take a look on that. And I even see a little gauge here. It says 2 3/8. So this one, you might have to push it in and then pop out, and then it will say 2 3/4, let's say, because it doesn't look like this down here can shift. So before you start messing around with that, read the directions and see how it works, or play around with it. See, I could maybe twist this. No, that just opens it. So it's got to be a different way. I think you push on this and twizzle it around. I mean, it's interchangeable. Just read the directions and figure it out. I always like to put both latches in first. Get the side bit done. Okay. I got the right screw for the right hole. Just make it snug. Don't try to overdo it, because you tighten that too much, you could start spinning the screw in there. Possibly. I've done it before. Okay, there. That's your first bit of your project. Okay. Now generally these just pull apart here. Okay. And I like to make the key facing down at the bottom rather than up. Sometimes you can install locks whichever way and you can still make them work, but I hate it when the key's facing up. I mean, I want the key placed at the bottom so that the key notches are facing up, because that's generally how your existing doors are. Fit it right in that middle hole. Fit it in there like that. You're going to hang on to that. And then there's a little notch inside where the thumb turn is. And I might have to play with it a little bit to see where it goes, because there's going to be a definite way to slide it, and then I can slide this wherever I need to. Okay, and before I even put the screws, I turn the thumb turn, and that looks like it's unlocked. I do it that way, and that feels locked, so I can kind of test that out before I even put these screws in. Now I can back this out just a little so I can kind of look in there and get it exactly where it needs to be. You should be able to start those screws just by finger tighten. If it goes any harder than that, you know it's not in there just right. Okay, I got it. I'm holding the outside because I don't want to push the outside out just yet. I want to gently hang on to that. And the screw driver is kind of at a slight angle, but that's okay because I just need it to get in there. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Once it gets in there, now I can get my screwdriver in there a little bit nicer. Okay, I'm hanging on to the whole thing. I'm not going to get it tight just yet. Now, if you've been watching some of my videos, you should know how to put this doorknob on now, right? Now I can see there's not much slop there, but I want to get it where I think. I can also look at this and make sure that the key is straight, and generally this one is. But if I feel like I need to move it a little bit, I can. Then I can hang on to this and cinch it down. First off, I'm going to make it snug. And I'm going to go over here and do that one. I'm not going to try to over tighten one side before I get the other one fairly snug. Okay. Okay, now I can tighten that up a little bit, and now I can come over here and tighten this one. Don't overdo it, but get it pretty tight. Okay. Check it out. Everything should be working. Locked. Unlocked. Looks good. Okay. There's one. Now for the deadbolt. Hey, join me next time on Easy Street. And you know what? It can be easy. You can start doing these things by yourself, and you can save a lot of money and get the satisfaction of knowing that you did it yourself. Come to think about it, you can do things like this. If an average Joe like me can do it, so can you. Remember that.